Good morning and welcome to Tennessee Valley this morning. We encourage you to grab a cup of coffee, and if I were you, I'd grab a Danish also, but maybe that's not your cup of tea. But and join Chris and I.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I forgot to bring my coffee in with me this morning. I need to do that. I need to remember it.
Well, I've already had a couple of cups today.
Have you? Okay.
So,
well, I've already had some. I got to keep it going.
Enough caffeine going that I can handle it for a little while.
You can go through the whole show without any more caffeine.
I think so. Probably the whole day.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of the way it is. But thank you for watching us this morning. And today we're going to have a special guest. Bridget Forrester is going to be on. We're going to talk about the Empty Stocking Fund. Also, we're going to have some recipes. So get pencil and paper and have it close to the television so you'll be ready to take down these wonderful, easy recipes. Of course, they have sugar in them, so that makes them even better. And also some tips for the holidays.
Some safety tips, yes.
Yeah, and we want to talk about that because this is a time of the year that we need to be extra cautious about traveling, about our wallets, about our homes, electrical, and etc. So we're going to talk about that. But Chris, I understand that you had the opportunity to attend the Christmas parade.
Yes, we went up to see most of the parade. We make it nice a little. Even we'll go up to Cafe Roma downtown, and it's right there where they're passing by.
So you have dinner, and
we get to have some dinner and go out, and the kids can go out and watch.
So you plan ahead, don't you?
Yes, yeah, it makes it nice. You can sit down and have some dinner, and the parade's going right by. Sure, sitting down, so it makes it nice.
And how did Oliver enjoy the parade?
He enjoyed it. He went out some. He'd come back in. He'd go out and watch for a few minutes, and he'd want to go back in and sit down. So that made it nice. We got a place for him to go sit. He didn't want to. He wouldn't. I don't think he would have made it through the whole thing. So, but he liked it though.
Sometimes with some winters we've had them, I know, and it's been so cold.
No, it was nice out there.
I know how blessed you were this year to be so nice.
It was very nice out there.
I've driven the car in the parades before when it was so cold that we were bundled up. You could hardly stir the car because you were bundled up so much when I'd take Miss Cleveland and sometimes Miss Tennessee and all of those.
Several years ago, Madeline was in it, and I can't remember why, but they were on a float, and it was raining that night.
Maybe it's when she was fairest of the fair.
Well, I think it was some cheerleading that she did.
Oh, okay.
And they had a float, and it was raining that night, and it was about 40 degrees and rainy, so last night was wonderful.
So we should appreciate last night.
We need to enjoy those pretty days
or
evenings like that.
Saturday. I've said last night. It seems like last night. And I took a trip to Atlanta over the weekend, and I really got in the Christmas spirit also. I didn't get to see the Christmas parade, but I went to a concert with Sandy Patty and Jason Crabb, and it was awesome. Of course, Sandy Patty is just awesome anyway, and I think Jason Crabb just won several Dove Awards, and so he's one of the most popular guys. He got it for the best male vocalist, I believe, entertainer, so he's really good. But they had 150 voice choir. Oh, wow. They had professionals to come in. It was at the Mount Perrin Church in Atlanta. They had professionals to come in and do all of the staging and everything for the church and the lighting and all. And it was absolutely one of the greatest Christmas programs I've ever seen.
Well, Mount Perrin, that's a big church down there.
It is, and it was an event that you paid to go see. It wasn't their church Christmas program, which will be, I think, in a couple Sundays. But anyway, it was quite a treat to go. Put you in a Christmas spirit, and I'm ready for Christmas now.
Oh, we've got Christmas going at the house, Christmas music all the time now. So
really,
just leave running all day long.
Well, I'll tell you one of the funny things this year. My sister lives with me, and Jane wanted colored lights out in front of our house. So I went out to buy some, and they were on sale, so I bought the colored lights that go over the shrub, those blankets of lights, whatever they call them. Yeah. And so I bought them, and I texted a friend of mine, and I said, what do you think about putting out the colored lights in front of my house? I bought them. They were on sale and things, and he texted me back, and he said, there's a reason they were on sale, Kay. Nobody uses colored lights. Well, so I went out and bought the clear lights. I had not had a chance to put them up. So Friday evening before leaving for Atlanta, my sister and I would come back in the subdivision. I said, let's just drive around and look and see what the lights are. So we did, and there were a lot of colored lights out. And so she said, "See, Kay, I told you we could have colored lights. It's okay to have colored lights." I said, "Okay, I'll think about it." Well, when I came in on Sunday evening, I decided the weather was so beautiful, and she was at her place of work, and I put the colored lights out. And they do look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And when she arrived, she said, "This is the greatest Christmas gift you could give me, is put the colored lights out."
Well,
so I've made one person
you've
happy
made one
for
person
Christmas,
happy.
and I
Well.
have colored lights. And if you all want to drive through Lakewood and see colored lights, you just go right ahead and do it. And I took a chance on, everybody does the clear lights, and that's what I've done for years, but I have colored lights up.
There we go. That's all.
It's Christmas
It's
time.
whatever makes you happy.
Maybe it's because of my age and I'm regressing with that. You think that has
No,
a,
no,
has
that
a
doesn't
thought?
have anything to
Maybe
do with it.
Jane's regressing.
That could be. We'll just say that.
She's wanting to
That-
go back to the years when we had. I recall when we had those huge light bulbs on the
Oh, yeah,
Christmas
the big
tree.
ones,
They were
yes.
very, very
And
large.
the bubble lights, and
Well, yeah, I lived through the bubble lights.
we still got some at the house. We didn't put them up this year, though.
You still have some bubble
We
lights?
still have bubble
well,
lights.
They were not mine because I
Oh, no.
did away
Glenda
with
got
mine.
bubble lights a couple of years ago. We didn't put them up this year, though.
Oh, really?
No, no,
Okay.
but she's got all the decorations up, and I've still got some wreaths to put up.
And
around
I
the
know
house,
when I was
so.
at your place for Thanksgiving, the house looked beautiful. It was all decorated for Christmas inside, and it just looked
She does a
great.
good job.
I know. It was hard to think about Thanksgiving for thinking what's going to go under the Christmas tree.
Yes, yes, that's that. We've got to still get wrap gifts. She was talking about that the other day. We've got to start wrapping gifts. So
I know. And have the children told you what they want for Christmas?
a
and all
few
that?
things, yes, well, a few things, and
I
sure-
know Alex had quite a list, didn't he?
Quite a list,
What, about
yes.
$1,700?
Oh yeah, he was getting.
He does a
Well,
nice Christmas.
Yes, yeah, he does a very nice Christmas.
But there was
And,
only a few items he wanted.
Yes, as they get older, the gifts get more expensive. So
Yeah, but he's 12. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's a down payment on a car.
yeah, I know. And but he's doing he's
That's
curved
2 or 3
back his
classes
list.
at the university or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's curved back his list a little bit, so it
Has
is
he?
better. Yes. Now Oliver, on the other hand, every time a commercial comes on, he says he has
wants
to have-
every toy.
He's 4, so every time he sees a commercial or anything, he thinks that's what he has to have, and so it kind of fluctuates back and
They
forth. what
forget
he
it,
wants.
though. Once they open a
Once
gift
they
or
open that
two
first
under
gift,
the tree, then
it's
when
all
Santa
over
gets
with.
there, that's okay.
That's all that matters. Yes.
Yeah.
So he told me this morning that he's ready for Santa to come. He said, "I want Christmas to get here." So I
Okay.
said, "Soon enough, it'll
Well,
be
I'm
here."
sure that if he wants it, then he's gonna set the time and date, right?
Oh yes, Oliver.
He
Yes,
thinks he can.
Yes. So, and Madam Alda, she's making it easier on Christmas. She's not wanting as much this year. So
Well, you know why? She's going to be 16 in May. She wants a car.
yeah,
she wants
she
a
wants
car.
to put that towards a car. So
I know. I mean,
And, she's
you
banking
don't get
that.
by as
That's
easy.
right.
It
No,
gets
no.
a little more expensive as you go along
she's
with
got to
children.
practice up on her driving first, but
I know.
she's getting there.
I know.
She's doing good.
She wants me to take her out, and I told her I would. I haven't yet, and but I will take her out. I'm not real patient, but I think I can work it.
That'd be good for her to get some different perspectives on driving.
Yes.
So
So
she'll do good.
what are your plans the rest of the season? Do you have any, or are you just
you
kind
know
of waiting
what?
for being invited?
I'm just waiting to be invited.
Okay, so if anyone's having anything, and you don't
anybody's
have
having
a-
anything, just
you
let
don't
me
have
know.
gas, call Chris.
You just
He's-
call us.
He's
We'll,
willing to come out.
Somebody said, asked us one time, "What are y'all doing this evening?" We said, "We're just waiting around for somebody to tell us what to do." So where we need
So
to
that's
be.
where you
so
are?
where we need to be. So we'll just show up wherever. So
Well,
we've got let's see, we've got Nutcracker coming up with Madeline. So
Yes.
that this weekend's taken. So we've got that this weekend. We've got the kids have their Christmas parties with their friends and stuff coming up. So there's
and
all-
First Baptist has their Christmas program this
Yes,
weekend.
they
if
have
you're
their
wanting to
program coming
attend,
up.
It's always very good. So,
Mhm.
I don't know times and dates or anything, but,
check-
if you'll call the church, I'm sure they can give that to you.
yes, they
And
can.
it's always very good.
Mhm.
The other thing, a couple other things I wanted to announce too is that we had Jim Welch on the program last week, I believe it was, talking about Jingle Bell Jog.
Yes.
And they had that this past weekend, and he said there was almost 200 people there.
Oh,
They
wow.
were quite excited.
That's great.
And had a wonderful, wonderful time. They don't have exact numbers and everything yet, but he gave me the report that he had, and he was thrilled. Thank you if you went and participated in that. That is with the Salvation Army, and they raise the money, and that helps people with with their electric bills
Yes,
and
people
different
have trouble
utilities
with-
and food and things
It
that
was
they
amazing
need.
how many people have trouble with that in town. You
Oh.
don't realize that.
Absolutely.
And
it
especially
is,
with the
Chris.
cold weather getting ready to come up. They need all the
And
help they can get.
also, the Salvation Army with the angel tree, and I have my 2 right here that I'm going to buy for. I'm going to buy for a little boy and a little girl.
Oh, okay.
And if they have about 200 more children that they do not have sponsors for. So if you're interested in sharing your Christmas with someone else and you would like to take one of these children and purchase Christmas gifts for, please call them, and you can get set up for it. And there's it tells you on the list what they need, so it's not too difficult.
That's a really good program.
It's a great program, and so we have that. There's just a lot going on at Christmas.
There sure is. It's a busy time of year.
It is, and sharing and giving and all of that good stuff. I know.
That I didn't go shopping Black Friday, so I didn't.
Well, I didn't either.
didn't share
Or
in that
Cyber
any.
Friday, is that what they call it?
Cyber Monday. That's on Monday.
So you can tell I didn't go. I didn't even know which day it was. So
You don't have to go anywhere for that. You just do
oh,
that.
you just do that at home.
You just do that at home
But you have to know
online.
how to work a computer, right?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
computer, iPad,
Same
whatever.
difference.
You can shop there.
I don't need to know the day. I don't need to know about that. But Christmas is the one great holiday, and so many people are trying to take it away from us and trying to say that, you know, it's a holiday tree, it's the holiday season. I try to say Merry Christmas as much as I possibly can.
Yes.
And I have a tree and I celebrate. You know, even those that don't want to call it a Christmas tree, they want the presents and they want to celebrate a holiday.
Yes.
They just don't want it to be Christmas. I think that's a little strange.
Yes, they want to make it their own. So.
They want to make it their own time.
Yes.
You know, but they still party and have parties and celebrate and give gifts and all of this. But the gift giving, it's all from the Bible, the Christmas holiday and the giving. The wise men and all brought gifts.
Yes,
so that's where we get it from.
And that's what we tell the kids. You have 3 gifts to pick, and that's, you know, because the wise men gave 3 gifts. So, that's how we.
You don't do that.
Well, no,
do you really?
Well, 3 gifts from Santa Claus, yes.
Yes.
And
Oh, okay.
yes.
I did not realize you did
Yes,
that.
and that's
well, I'm just learning so much about my family
that's
today.
right. Yeah, well, they get to choose 3 gifts from Santa Claus, and those are the 3 gifts because the wise men brought 3 gifts, baby Jesus. So that's how we choose. They get 3 gifts from Santa Claus.
And then the rest of it, Mom and Dad bring.
And then the rest of it, Mom and Dad bring. Yes.
Okay.
So.
Hopefully, Mom and Dad are very generous this year, right?
Yeah. Oh well, they always tend to be. It always works out. So
I know, and we are
some of those gifts are hard to get. So
I know,
for
and
Mom
we're going to
Dad.
have Christmas at your house.
Yes.
And celebrate. And I'm going to spend the night with the children this year. I have never done that. And I'm going to spend the night with the children, and so I can be there on Christmas morning and watch them open all their presents. A lot of families do this. We just never have done that.
No. And
so you asked the children what they wanted this year, and what did they say?
They want y'all to come over.
They wanted Nana to come over and be there to open gifts. And so I'm excited about that.
Oh, they are too.
And for you to cook breakfast for me on Christmas morning, that's just real exciting.
And you know Waffle House is open 24/7, 365. They are actually open that morning for breakfast.
And we can order in, right?
We've done it
Take
before.
out.
That's right. That's right. Best breakfast.
I know it is, and that's always a great time for us.
That's right.
But I usually don't spend Christmas Day with you all.
No,
we do Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day you and Glenda and the children.
Well, that way the kids can just sit and enjoy the gifts, and they can play and not have to worry about getting out, and they can just have fun.
And I always lived away from my family, so we always had to travel, and
I remember
that was
traveling.
always fun. Daddy was always real excited with my sister and I in the back seat of the car and traveling several hundred miles. That was one of his fun times, and my sister and I argued a lot. And I know my mother would put something in the middle of the seat and say, "Don't either one of you cross that line." You know, that was my section, and that was her section.
I remember hearing that when I was growing up.
Do you remember?
Yeah, that may have been where it came from then.
I learned that very early on in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that too, traveling.
Now we have SUVs with 3 seats, and we put one on each seat and let them go.
Everybody's got a TV
everybody's got their own little DVD.
So.
Or is it a CD player or DVD?
DVD.
DVD player. Sorry, I'll get these.
Well, now they have their little iPads and iPods with their videos on them, so don't even have to have
so
that anymore.
So they're all excited about that.
Yeah, they don't even have to have DVDs anymore.
Well, it's Christmas season, and not only that, we sell real estate, and people buy real estate during the Christmas season also, don't they?
Year round.
The greatest gift you can give your wife is buy her a new house.
Oh, yes.
Would that be not awesome?
That would
and
be
you
a great
can call us because we can show her that house, and we know how to to do the contracts, and we know how to do it all,
And
don't
take
we?
care of you. Yes, we do.
We're very good.
That's right.
Tell them how good we are, Chris.
Very good. The best. That's our goal.
We do. We have a lot of houses that we have listed that are in awesome areas and awesome prices, and some houses that are great. We have one house that has an indoor pool, and it is one nice house, and they have lowered the price below tax appraisal. And at one time it was on the market not very many years ago. It's only about, what, 5 or 6 years old, something like that. And it was on for $1 million something. We have it at $695. You talk about a buy. It's a good purchase for a house.
Oh, yes.
So
almost
it has
2 acres of land with it. I mean,
that's right.
Yes.
In one of the nicest neighborhoods or subdivisions in town. So I listed one the other day and had it sold the next day, didn't I?
That's right.
I mean, sometimes it just happens that way. Not all the time, but it's really great when it does. That you have a buyer when they call you to list it, and you say, "Hey, I've got a buyer for that house right now. I think I know who will want this."
Well, that's where it comes looking for finding people that are needing a house. I mean, we already know people that need a home and matching them up with that house. That's what it's all about.
Right. That's what Chris and I do as a real living. That's where we get our paychecks. Is from real estate. And I'm gonna give you my number real quick, and Chris can give him his.
Yeah.
718-6967 is mine. Give me a call. I usually answer within the short time. If I'm busy with someone else, it'll take me a little bit, but not very long.
And you
Chris,
can reach me at 961-8095. And if for some reason I don't pick up the phone, just send me a text. I'll text you right back.
Yeah, we text. That's the easiest way sometimes anyway, because if we're in a meeting, we can respond and tell you that we'll call you back shortly or whatever. We usually can make it easy to them.
Yes.
I don't know what we did without a text.
I don't know. And you know what? That was 20 years old. I think it was the day before yesterday. 20 years ago, the first text message was sent out.
Well, it's only been about 5 for me.
It's only been about 5 for you?
I was a late bloomer on the
20 years ago, it was first sent out, yes.
And I lost my phone, or I didn't lose it. I dropped my phone last week and broke it.
Oh, goodness. Yes, that's right.
And so I lost all my contacts. Had to get a new phone, use a borrowed one for a little while. The Verizon was wonderful and let me borrow a phone. And then my new phone is here, but I don't have all my numbers. And it's like losing, I don't know, your identity or something, because you just feel so lost without a phone. But they're wonderful to have.
No, they help keep us connected, don't they?
They keep our business.
Well, I'll help you get that together where you can have all your contacts back together. I'll try to work on that for you.
Well, you're much faster and much better than me, so I appreciate that so very much.
Get that.
And Chris, we're going to go to a break.
All right.
And don't you go away. Stay right there. And we're coming back with Bridget Forster. And she's going to be talking to us about the empty stocking and some things going on with Christmas. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Hello, I'm Bill Odom.
Hi, and I'm Tammy Odom.
We want to invite you to join us on Joyous Living Today for interviews, testimonies, and gospel music by special guests and Dixie Sunshine.
Right here on WTNB, Sundays at 4 p.m. and Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Jesus, Jesus, the light of the world.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100. Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning, and we have Bridget Forrester with us. Thank you, Bridget, for being here. You're just you're my hero today.
You're so welcome. Good morning. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Bridget.
And it's hard for you to be at 2 places at one time, is it not?
Isn't that fun how that happens?
I know. But Bridget's come by today to talk to us about the Empty Stocking Fund, and that's another one of the programs here in Cleveland for Christmas. And like we said, this program is about Christmas today and things to do and not to do, and the things that we can share and help and give. And tell us a little bit about the Empty Stocking.
Well, to me, giving is the most important part of Christmas. That's what it's all about. So for 2 weeks out of every year, we take and we raise money for the Cleveland Christmas Party for Children. And we kind of stray away from our regular programming at the station. And we take calls and pledges all throughout the day. And we're at some live locations a few times during these 2 weeks. But it's the 42nd annual Empty Stocking Fund, and it raises money for the Cleveland Christmas Party for Children. And that Christmas party is going to be on Saturday, December 22nd. And this year it is at Lee University in the Paul Dan Walker Arena.
Yes.
And this party benefits children, infants through 12 years of age, and benefits kids right here in our community who would not have a Christmas otherwise. So we rely on our listeners every year, and they raise thousands and thousands of dollars each year to provide Christmas for these children who would not have it otherwise. And there's some wonderful organizations out there who help children, in other countries, and that's wonderful too. We need to help people everywhere, but we don't need to forget about kids right here in Cleveland and Bradley County. There are hundreds of children that are helped every Christmas. And there is a pre-registration process because the kids, they're more and more numerous every year. We've had a record number register this year, so that proves that the need is greater than ever. So, if you know of a child who will not have a Christmas this year, Friday is the last day to register at Faith Memorial Church.
Okay. I remember, of course, I don't know how many years ago this started, but I know that Brother Littlefield was one of the people that helped or started this, I guess.
Yes.
And I worked with him and was on the original board when he did the emergency shelter, and worked with him, and that was such a pleasure to do. And so his heart was so good and so kind. And we did some things with him, my husband and I, and all. But I today want to be a giver to the Empty Stocking Fund, and I want to present you a check from myself and Chris for $100 to go in the Empty Stocking Fund. And let me ask you, how much have you raised so far? Do you have any idea?
Yes, we are right at about $22,000. We raised $35,000 last year, so each year we want to raise $1 more than we did the year before. So every year we kind of exceed that goal every year, and it's amazing. People just show up and show out. I said that on the air the other day. Our listeners and our community, this is the greatest community in the world. It really is.
Well, you know, this program is so great, and everybody knows about it, and we work with it. And then the other programs in the city that we have, and people giving to those for our local children. So there shouldn't be one child in Cleveland that goes without a Christmas, as many programs as we have going. So if you, like you said, if you have a child that you know of that is not going to have Christmas and needs, contact Bridget, contact someone, and let them know, because there is a lot out there for the underprivileged. And like you say, we have more this year than ever, I'm sure. Things are not as good as they have been in the past.
Yeah, and there's something that can be done. There's no reason for a kid, you know, here in this area that we live in, we're so blessed. There's no reason that any kid should go without for Christmas. So yeah, there's lots of ways to give back. And as I said, you know, this gets bigger and better every year, but the need is also bigger than ever before. So it's our time to step up and to take care of these children.
It is. And I can recall back a long time ago when we worked with Pilot Club a lot, and we would go, there was one school here in town that we would go to every year and have a Christmas party, and there was a manufacturer in Benton, I believe, that made coats, and they would give us coats for all of these kids, and we bought other gifts. But the Santa Claus at the last minute could not be there. So we always had someone that presented the gifts in a Santa Claus suit, and so I did the Santa Claus. Now that was interesting.
How was that?
And the other ladies in the club laughed later. They said the only thing was different was Kay had on high heels, and Santa doesn't wear high heel shoes. But I didn't have any other shoes to put on when I did. I know, but one little boy got on my lap, and I asked him what he would like for Christmas. He said, "We would just like to have a turkey." That's all he asked for. No toys, no anything. He wanted a turkey. And I thought, you know, we take a turkey for granted. I mean, we're going to have one regardless, but that's all that child wanted. And there were kids there that lived out of the car, you know, and they'd want something. And a lot of them didn't want for themselves. They wanted for their friends or their family, little sisters, little brothers, or their mother or their dad. But I'll never forget that one. I mean, I left there thinking, a turkey, you know?
Right.
And we take so much for granted that we're so blessed.
And you don't think about kids being in need that much, you know, here where we live. It could be your neighbor, it could be somebody you go to church with. You think about kids in third world countries, you know, being in this situation, but there are kids in need right here in our very own community, and you really don't think about that until you see these kids. Or if you come to the Christmas party that we raise money for, there are kids that come in with no shoes on, no coats, and most of the time, you know, they leave with a brand new coat on, a bag full of toys, and just the smiles on their faces. If you ever come to the Christmas party for children, it'll change you. It'll change the way you think about Christmas.
Do you feed them while they're there? Is there?
We don't, but they come in and it's set up like a toy store. I mean, every penny that is donated goes straight to buy toys and coats for these kids. So there are aisles and aisles of toys set up. So they walk in and they just can't believe all these toys are there for them. And so they're able to walk through and pick out what they want.
Okay.
And so it's a really, really neat event.
So coats, people don't, or you buy the coats with the money that's come in.
Yes.
And everything is new now.
Yes,
it is not recycled. It is new toys, new clothing.
Yeah, because of the money that comes in, we're able to buy brand new toys and coats.
That is just awesome.
It is.
And I know you were advertising for volunteers, and I guess you probably
Yes.
already have those. Or
Well,
no?
they are still in need of more. You can never have enough volunteers because some people, it starts at 8 o'clock that morning, and some people can just work for an hour or two. Depending on how many children show up, it could go on into the early afternoon. So if you would like to volunteer at the party, again, the date is Saturday, December 22nd. At Lee University. They need to know that you're coming to volunteer, so you can call Faith Memorial Church at 476-6281.
Okay, and you register, and then they'll know the time and all,
Yes.
and you can gather there and work. Is this one of the greatest things you do?
Yes, absolutely. And I work with it, every year I go to the party and I see where the money goes. There's no administrative costs at all. Everyone that works with the party, they're volunteers. And so you see where that money goes, and that just makes you want to give that much more, because if you send in $1, that dollar is going to purchase some kind of toy for a child that is in need.
And I was just talking to you before we came on the air that you are having your children are getting involved in this year.
Yes, they are. We asked them, how much they wanted to donate, and they know that it's coming out of their money, and it's amazing how much children want to give, and to see a child giving to another child, I mean, that really touches your heart.
Well, it teaches them from a very early age to share, because they want to share.
That's right.
Not because they have to, but because it's their choice and they want to share. And I know, Chris, you've got Madeline that will give away everything she has.
Oh, yes.
Of course, now Alex is a little bit less giving.
But you know what? This year he wants to go buy his own gifts with his own money, and that's,
yes,
this
and
year
he
wants
does
to do
that.
that.
But Madeline, she used to come to my house, or I'd go to her house, and when she was just a little girl, and before we could leave, she'd go to the refrigerator, if nothing else, and get a onion or a pepper or a cucumber, something, and give to us before we would leave. She's always been that kind of a giver.
She's still that way.
Yeah. And she's still that way. She would give you everything she has.
And Kay, she gets that from you. And I enjoy giving so much, and I've seen you give my whole life. I've known Kay my whole life, and she has taught me so much about giving to other people. I've seen her give to people when no one even knew about it. And
that's
so
the greatest time to give it. It's when no one really knows.
It is, and it's a true joy that you get, and I believe that that's straight from the Lord. He gives that to you when you give to other people.
Well, when I was very young, my parents, I never knew we were poor. They never told me I was poor, and I just assumed that we had, what everybody else had. But a lot of my Christmas gifts when I was very, very young, probably up till I was 7 or 8 or 9 years old, were recycled things that other people had taken care of and had repainted or redressed a doll and all of this and gave to me. I never knew it was recycled. I was just as excited over that as had it been a new one, because I thought it was. And if it hadn't been for someone in that time giving, I could have been without anything at Christmas. But because of that, I think I learned to give through my parents, and you learn it at an early age to give and to help others. And I find sometimes that there's people that have lost a job or because of illness that do not have and will not tell anyone. And that's when you have to just kind of search out a need and help that person. It's not that they're poor, it's just that hard times have come up on them at a special time, or that they need it, and to share in that life, and no one ever knows, and sometimes they don't know who gives the money or who pays the utility bill or who sends a new mattress to their home. They don't know, and that's the joy of it. In fact, do I need to preach here today?
I feel it coming on. Come on.
I'm not mean to have a sermon, but I think the Bible tells us that our greatest rewards in heaven will be what we have done to help others and to do things, and have not publicized it. I publicized my check today, so that's my reward.
Well, I'll hide it.
But it is it's a great feeling to give. It's better to give than it is to receive.
It is, and you hit a great point. Sometimes I see the adults that are bringing the children to this Christmas party that we have, and they look kind of ashamed, or they look kind of embarrassed, but there's no reason for that. I mean, everybody falls on hard times.
Absolutely, we all have had them.
And we're here to help you through that, and so you shouldn't be embarrassed at all.
Well, and here I go again. I'm going to preach again today. But the Bible also says that I don't think, now don't quote me on this, but I don't think the Bible tells you anywhere that the receiver is blessed other than what they receive. Mm-hmm. But the giver is the one that's blessed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
when you give, that's where the blessing comes from, not the receiver. The receiver only has that blessing for right then. Mm-hmm. But the giver can be blessed on and on and on and on.
Absolutely.
And when I heard that one time, I thought, I'd never thought of it in that respect. But it's an awesome thought when you think about the giver. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's so hard for people to give.
Mm-hmm. And this time of year is hard on a lot of people. You know, if you've had loss in your family or you're struggling with depression, you know, there's lots of things going on this time of the year. But if you will step out there, if you'll give to a child or give to an adult, whoever, it's just a spirit of giving. It's just a spirit of peace that comes on you when you give to others, and that'll help you in your situation.
It will. And I know, Bridget, I know your time is limited, and I want to thank you so much for coming. I hope we've said something that you can take to heart today. And don't forget the empty stocking. You can start right there by sharing and giving with that. And thank you. It's my pleasure always to have you, and you know that. You're like my second daughter.
I know it. And my mama number 2.
I know. But we'll be right back in just a moment.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Hello, I'm Bill Odom.
Hi, and I'm Tammy Odom.
We want to invite you to join us on Joyous Living Today for interviews, testimonies, and gospel music by special guests and Dixie Sunshine.
Right here on WTNB, Sundays at 4 p.m. and Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Jesus, Jesus, the light of the world.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Well, we're back with you again, and let me just suggest that you get a pencil and paper, because I'm going to give you a couple of recipes, and they're real simple, and you may already have them, but if you don't, they will be great little recipes for the holidays. So, but first of all, Chris and I are going to talk about some safety tips for the holidays in many different areas. So,
That's
Chris,
right.
what do you have?
Well, you know what? I was looking on to see about safety for the holidays, and some things I didn't realize, and about putting out your lights. And
Yes.
one of them said, always make sure you turn off your holiday lights when they're unattended. So when you leave the house in the evenings, to turn off your lights. So if something happens and you're not there, that helps to keep that away. And it's best to buy fresh, is what it says here. Always buy freshly cut trees, because they tend to not to be so dry and catch fire as easily. And one thing, when you buy if you have a fresh cut tree, always keep it watered. Make sure it keeps plenty of water in there, and that keeps the tree from being as flammable as it could be, because that's very dangerous with all the lights, and it gets hot with those lights on there, and all it takes is one little spark for those trees.
It sure does.
If they're not kept watered and kept well.
And keep those needles,
And,
because if they start falling off and it gets dry, then you have
That's right. And
that's why we use the ones you plug in.
That's right. The pre-lit plug-in trees.
That's right.
I
But a
tend
lot
to
of
get
people
those.
like to use the fresh trees,
yes.
and they smell so wonderful in your house.
Oh, they really do. They really do. And one thing, and this is one thing, is using a ladder. Make sure you use the proper ladder when putting out your things outside. Now, I haven't put out all my wreaths, and some of them are going to be a ladder, and it doesn't say it on here, but always have someone nearby that you know, if something happens, you fall off a ladder, you need to contact somebody, and you may not be able to.
That's right.
And I know friends of mine who have gotten hurt falling off a ladder. I mean, seriously hurt falling off a ladder. I mean, it's
And you all don't allow me on a ladder anymore, do
no,
you?
No. And I'll tell Glenda, you know, I'm going to go out and do something out on the ladder. She goes, no. Make sure we're at home when you do that. I mean, she's cautious about that too.
There are so
because
many
that is
accidents
very
with
dangerous.
ladders.
Yes, there is.
And you've got one that's really about 3 stories high.
One wreath I've got to put up is very high.
Yes.
And it makes.
You're praying a lot before you start putting
I
that
don't
one
like
up, right?
heights to begin with, and I get a little jittery height. So always make sure you have the proper ladder and it's secure, and that what you're putting up is secure, so you don't have those problems when you're putting that up. Those are very important. Let's see. One of the other is make it a good time to check your smoke alarms in the house. Since you've got all those extra lights going and everything, it says check your batteries to make sure that those are getting your smoke alarms. So you'll know ahead of time if something's coming up. You can save the gifts.
That's right.
And
And
your family
also
and everybody else.
outside, make sure you're using outside extension cords.
Yes, make sure you're using outside
Don't
extension
try
cords.
using the indoor extension cords outside.
Yes, no, that doesn't end well.
No, it
when
doesn't.
you do that, no. And never plug more than one extension cord to another. Don't have an extension cord with 3 running off from it to something else.
really?
Yeah, do I need to come check at your house? Do we need to?
No, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
And actually, they're not. I went out and bought some new ones over the weekend, and for the outside lights, and they have a little stake goes in the ground. It's got 3 plug-ins in it. It's all made for outside.
Does it go in the ground?
Yeah, it goes in the ground. And it gives you 3 or 4.
Well, I bought that, but I didn't realize you could
there's a little
put
stake. It goes in the ground, and this one actually has remote control. So I can, from the inside
Well,
of the house,
I
I
don't
can turn on
think
the outside lights.
Mine doesn't have a remote.
And I think it was $15. And so, you can't beat that. I mean, that's worth the a few extra dollars to have something have outside light, so you can have your outside
Did you buy
lights.
a green cord?
Yes, I did buy a green one.
I know
So it
they have
matches.
them in orange, and I know there's some orange ones there at the house.
Yes, but I bought a green one to match. I did. And they actually have brown too. If you
Oh,
look
really?
around,
Okay,
you can
I
find
didn't see
brown
the brown. I
ones.
saw the
So
green.
you
I put up lights, which I said a little while ago on the program, and things. This is the first year I've ever done that by myself, and I'm quite proud, even though they're colored lights.
Well, no,
I'm quite proud of what I
told you,
did.
if you need any help, just give me a call. But
Sure.
And you didn't, so you did a good job.
I did a good job. I'm proud of that.
Yes, you did it all on your own. So, did you have any safety tips about the house? I think you did. You have some. We were talking about this earlier about at home, making sure if you have a home alarm to go ahead and set that.
Well, if you're buying an artificial tree, make sure the label says fire resistant. You know, and also wear clothes that are not flammable clothing material when you are putting all the lights and building a fire and doing all those things. You want to take good care. Check each set of lights, even if they're new. Make sure there's no broken ones or cracked sockets or anything, because you don't want any of that to happen. You make sure that the stand is filled with water. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. There's testing laboratory labels that go on lights. Make sure all of that's right, because sometimes if you buy the cheap lights, they don't have money. No, they're not. And those can be very dangerous, so be very careful with that. Also, I think I'm going to talk about tips for safety in shopping. I was in New York City a few years ago with some friends doing Christmas shopping. I went to one of the large department stores. I had just checked out of the hotel, and we had a couple hours or so before going to the airport. And I had taken money and credit cards out of the safety deposit box and put it in my purse. Well, we went shopping and came back to the hotel to get our luggage and get in the limo to go to the airport. And when I reached in my purse to get my wallet, I didn't have one. Someone had taken my wallet. I had no identification, I had no cash, I had no credit cards, I had nothing. And gladly that I was with friends that could, and at that time we didn't have to have identification to get on the airplane. I did have my ticket. But there I was. I mean, you talk about feeling like you can't identify yourself, you have no money for a cab, you have nothing. Well, the ladies that I was with at the time, I told them, I said, well, I was going to pay for the limo, and they said, and I said, you're going to have to pay for the limo. I don't have any money. And they said, okay, quit joking, because I joke a lot. And they said, oh, I said, oh, seriously, I don't have anything. And so we went back to the department store. We had the limo driver to take us back to the department store to make out a police report. And we made out a police report. They just laughed, you know. Found my credit cards in Chile. The next day they had been used.
They were out of the country. I remember that.
Yes. And so be careful with your wallet and things when you go out, because I'm telling you, it's a scary thing. And you can, you know, the money's gone, but it's a hassle getting credit cards. And the other thing was, before I left town, I gave you I had put a list of all the credit cards at the house. I'd left all of that.
Yes, I remember you doing
that. And I never do that. And so I called, and Chris had a list of what I had with me. So that was a blessing in disguise.
Yes, always make a copy of everything.
But anyway, be careful with that. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back, and we'll finish these tips, and we'll give you 2 recipes.
Great local sports right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television. Keep up to date on all your Walker Valley sports news Wednesdays with the Walker Valley Sports Zone. Get a behind-the-scenes look at all the local high school area football with the pregame Thursdays at 10. And it's a Friday night tradition. Football Friday, every Friday night at 11 o'clock, right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television.
Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
And welcome back, and we're still talking about safety for the holidays. And I was talking about your wallet a little while ago, and when shopping, keep your car locked at all times. Don't leave any purse or any packages where people can see it. Put it in the trunk of the car. Park in well-lit areas. Also, keep the security on in your car. If you have to turn it on, make sure and turn that on. Be extra careful with purses. We've talked about that. Carry all credit cards, only what you're going to be using that day. Don't take them all with you, and you won't have any problems with that. Also, visibly check the back seat of your car when you get in, and etc. Park in well-lighted parking spaces. Shop with another person if at all possible, because it's better. And also let your family know when you're going shopping and about what time you will be back. There are some things that you just really need to watch out. Be aware of who's around you at all times, especially if you're carrying a lot of packages to the car from the store. Try not to do that, because put them in a buggy or something and take it out. It's much easier, because it's easy for thieves to knock out packages. Then you get distracted and they can do whatever. So be aware of those things. Be safe. Have a good time and enjoy the holidays, but be safe. And Chris, you have some things on holiday also.
Well, yeah, we were looking at safety, and this also came up about a less stressful holiday.
Oh, that would be great. And, we all need that.
Yes, and one tip where it has to do with safety and some of the other things, always keep your receipts. We buy so many electronics during the holiday season, they're not all going to work. You're going to buy a camera. You're going to buy, well, if everybody wants iPads and tablets and all these things, you're going to get one that's not going to work. Save your receipts. And I always make a little envelope and I say Christmas receipts on them. And anytime I buy anything for Christmas, it all goes in there. So if something's not working, even if it's a remote controlled car or anything, if something's not working, you always have that receipt to take it back, and you know right where they're at.
Okay.
And that's always
that's a good one.
Well, that has saved me in the past, because one of the kids' toys weren't working, and if I didn't have a receipt, I didn't take it back. So I had to make sure I had that receipt. Yeah. So that makes it easy.
And you have one about people not trying to be who?
Martha Stewart. There was one here that said, don't try to be Martha Stewart. And I was looking on that, and it was really good. Don't try to transform your place overnight.
Okay.
Take time. Suddenly, every house in the block has wreaths on the front doors, tapered lights, candle in every window. Don't do it all at once, and incorporate your family to help you out. And it may not look the way you want it to look, but it's going to be okay. Done, and it's going to be okay. It's about the memories and not about how the house looks.
Well, and I
thought
think
that was nice.
Women, you will relate to me on this. We always want everything so clean and everything just spick and span and pristine when we have our guests in. You know what? Usually when the guests come, they could care less. They don't look at that as long as things are neat and orderly.
Mm-hmm.
And then because you're going to have to clean when everyone leaves.
That's right.
So you know, don't kill yourself before your guests get there. Just keep going and have a good time. So then relax so that you can enjoy what's going on and the parties.
Well, everybody enjoys it. I mean,
I know.
If you're not, I mean, I'm bad about that too. If we have guests coming over, make sure everything's just right and getting everything done. We're all worried about that.
I know. At Thanksgiving,
and,
he was in taking care of all the dishes and doing some things, and I said, Chris, that could be done later. Come in and sit down and talk. We had some guests there and talk to your guests. He said, I know. I just worked in food service when I was very young, and that's the things you do.
That, but you know, you just have to kind of learn to put those things away and enjoy the guests and enjoy your family time and make memories with them.
Yes.
And not so much worried about how the house and everything looks, which I thought was a really good little tip there to have.
It is.
Martha Stewart doesn't do it all by herself either.
No, she doesn't. She
I'm
has
sure
plenty of help, I'm
sure she has a whole crew of people helping her do things. So I thought that was.
And there's a lot of lonely people during holiday season. So if you know of someone that's going to be alone, bring them in. Invite them over. You had someone that didn't have family for Thanksgiving and we invited him to the house, and he was a super nice guest.
Very nice,
and was very appreciative. Nice. He was leaving the day after to go to his family, but for that one day.
Yes.
So be aware of those people that need it. And then some of them don't have any family at all.
That's right.
And you know, it just means a little bit, a whole lot, really. We do a little bit, it means a lot to them to share in a holiday, especially if there's children with you.
That's right, and you may not be able to afford to buy them a gift or something, but to at least have them over for dinner.
That's
or
right.
To have them over for,
what a greater gift can you give?
That's exactly right, even if it's a McDonald's hamburger. I mean, that's all that matters.
Well,
as
you get older, with myself, I've learned that it's not about the food. It's about the fellowship and the time that you have to spend together.
That's right.
And we try to fix everything. We know how to cook on those holidays too, right?
That's right.
And we have to kind of slow down on that and take time to smell the roses and enjoy the holiday.
So now you have some recipes talking about cooking.
I do, and we're gonna talk about some recipes, and they're cookies, and they're some of my greatest ones that I love so much. And one of them is Graham's cornflake peanut butter cookies, and the other one is fudge crinkles, and I'm sure that you will know what I'm talking about, and they're easy. They're just a few steps to them. So get your pencil and paper ready and have it down, because we are going to give these to you as soon as we come back from this break.
We're done.
Oh, okay. Well, they told me I'm not ready for a break yet, so I've got one more minute.
We're not done yet.
So
Hold on.
I'm going to give you the ingredients for the cornflake peanut butter cookies, and then we'll be back and I'll tell you how to mix it up. But anyway, you have 1/2 cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup of light corn syrup, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 1/2 cup of peanut butter, and 3 cups of cornflakes cereal. Now I'm telling you, this is to die for. The first time I ate them, I couldn't stop. And they're so easy. It takes about 45 minutes to make them. And that's all the ingredients you need. You need the white sugar, the corn syrup, butter, peanut butter, and cornflakes cereal. And then you're going to line a baking sheet with wax paper. Bring the sugar and corn syrup to a boil in a saucepan over medium heat. Stir in butter and peanut butter until thoroughly mixed and remove from heat. And we'll be back in a minute, and I'm going to tell you the rest of it. Okay?